What? What? What is he doing? Hello everyone, welcome to the final match for China and Russia here in the Nations Cup, fighting for their spot in the semifinals. Again, I'm joined by two awesome guys here. Bas, Aldrin and Kowalski are here today. How are you guys doing?
Hello everyone, all good.
Doing great, thanks for having us today, Spooz.
Yeah, thanks for being here, cool. Yeah, as I said, today China versus Russia. If we take a look at the groups, both won one match so far. So today the big decision, who of both teams is going to advance to the semifinals. So who do you expect here to win today?
Okay, what do you think?
Difficult
question,
it's a really
right?
tough call because yeah, both teams have showed at the same time some surprising results in both ways. So it's really difficult to tell who is gonna reign victorious. But I don't know. I think logic tells me that China has an edge today, but the heart tells me that that Russia will pull out the full miracle and actually make it to the semifinals out of this very competitive group.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the teams, yeah, both of them, they can win. They can take the win today, and actually, the winner will take it all, right? They're going to be only one winner, and only one of them will qualify. I also would put slight edge on the Chinese team, but we will see. Russia showed that they could win with the US. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's going to be another surprise today.
Yeah, and I think Gengeda is on fire now, huh? With this deciding match 5 win last week, taking the win
maybe
there
they
for
promoted
Russia.
him to the captain now.
Yeah,
knows,
it might
right?
be. Who knows? But talking so if we expect that the winner of today is being second in the group, and Kowalski, your team is being ranked 1 in Group A. So who do you prefer there in the semifinals?
Well, if you asked me before the Nations Cup and after the drawings, I would, with no offense, of course, to Russia, but I would obviously prefer Russia as an opponent in the semifinals, because on paper they had the weakest team of the entire Group B. But if they manage to win today and finish second, most likely, then this means they are. Of course, they are a force to be reckoned with that it's going to be very difficult to play against. So really, I cannot tell. And on top of that, it means they have this unpredictability factor on their side. So at least with the Chinese team, you know they're very good, but at least you know what you're up against. You know what how hard of a job it will be to beat them. But maybe with Russia, it's going to be even more difficult to predict what strategy they're going to pull, and so I cannot claim that I have a preference right now.
Yeah, just sorry, I was just a little bit
distracted.
Yeah, because Team China is having technical issues again. But let's take a look at the teams.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything you said.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what lineup is Team China bringing in today. So no Hui Hui today. Instead of this, Fairness is in the team today. CCMS and CU Collector, the other two players, both won half of their matches today, and for Fairness it will be their first appearance in the Nations Cup. So pretty excited to see how his first appearance goes here. And then we have Team Russia with, they're just 3 players in whole, so not too much to change here, but it will be Nyarlathotep, Gengator with his insane armor again, and Sidecrawler also waiting for his first win. So maybe it is Sidecrawler's show today. What do you think?
Maybe.
Maybe, right?
Yeah, I'm actually quite interested in seeing what's gonna happen with the Team China, because last 2 games they had the same lineup, the same order. Hui played standard and singleton. Now he's gone. So yeah, how will they reorganize the team? Who will do what now? It's quite interesting, and I think it's actually maybe a tricky part for Russia, because maybe they were counting that that the same decks will be brought, the same players they will face, but now there is a surprise change. I wonder how this will affect the games.
Yeah, and
that's true, of course, but I also think. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you have a slight delay, but it's fine. Yeah, I wanted to say that even in the first match, we already see the new player fairness here against Nyarlathotep in the pauper format. So we already see what if Team Russia can adjust to the mix-up here. Maybe they awaited someone else, but it's more about thinking what deck your opponents might play than what opponent might play, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. And also it works in your favor if you have a standard team of 3 people that have played the entire Nations Cup as it is so far, because you have adjusted to the special rules of the Nations Cup. And if it's your first time playing, even if you're an experienced player like Fairness, you might fall into some traps that you might do some logical mistakes that you wouldn't do normally. And here we see he brings a very interesting Japan-USA deck.
Ooh, with the priest in it. I like it.
Yeah.
With a priest in it.
Oh, it's a self-discard deck.
And
yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's not so common. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we've seen it, right? Like, we have not seen it. We've seen tokens before. And Nyarlathotep won against, I think it was against both the J-King against Blue Blast.
Blue Blast, right? Yeah, with his token deck.
Against Blue Blast, right.
Yeah. So he brings this again. What do you think? I think this deck, I mean, in general, tokens in the pauper format is quite strong, right?
I think so, yeah. I like the variant that he was playing.
It has the problem that we just saw with the AoE. It's not very common in the form of Tora, but Stars and Stripes have made the field for tokens very difficult. Right now we saw a Tora, which helped Fairness a lot. And unfortunately, Nyarlathotep doesn't have any more reserves to go with. Oh, and he discards a Betty.
Wow.
That was from the 34s, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
yes,
right.
It was from the draw, and then the card was discarded and ended up in the.
But I mean, Neo is having the Stars and Stripes here that he can drop next turn.
Yeah, he can draw, but the
but they
units are gonna move to the front line.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But still, he's gonna get a good value out of it. He's gonna kill two units. And the thing is that as a bomber, Betty doesn't take any damage from the token, so it can just keep killing tokens for free. If it survives, that is, which I don't think.
And then so far he doesn't really have any. Oh wow, quite a lot of discard.
And a lot of answers against tokens. The Jingdas also.
Yeah.
Very good.
It seems like he crafted an anti-token deck.
Looks like,
There's
right?
the Stars and Stripes, of course. He's gonna go for the draw. Another supply chain. I suppose he's gonna have to deploy a Type 93 for maximum damage.
Oh, Nier is not having any AoE here left.
No.
And another Betty.
Oh, and he gets another Betty. He needs another Stars and Stripes ASAP.
There's another no surrender.
Yeah, but this is quite slow, right? I mean, he would need some kind of blitz, right?
And that's a desperate move right there, and Nyarlathotep recognizes it. that putting a unity strength in a non-blitz unit in the support line is pretty much doing nothing.
Do you trade here or go in face? It's
I think you can trade
technically,
everything
yeah.
safely.
Yeah, the hand of TheArticle.
I mean,
is
look at the
really
hand.
bad,
If he deploys a Betty right now, or at least before he drew the Greyhound, he would get value of any card that would be discarded.
Card, yeah. That's true. But yeah, such a powerful start. Wow, crazy.
Yeah, it was really powerful. And I don't see a way for Nyarlathotep to crawl back here, unfortunately.
Yeah, with 2 of these left here.
Yeah, and that, I mean, they also are having a really powerful value, right? Because of the deployment effect now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you just go face here.
Yeah, with a single token.
Only.
He's a little bit afraid.
But why? Yeah, he has to attack this way. Almost lethal. Or is it? Yeah, it is.
It
It is lethal.
-4.
That's lethal. Wow.
That was...
On turn 7.
That was a fast one.
That was a fast one and a very... of course, there's a lot of RNG involved in this deck, but in its core, in its logic, it was very, very well crafted to counter tokens. Oh,
Totally agree.
There's the Master's bypass, finally.
Look at this.
Yeah, I grew it during the game. So.
Finally.
Nice. It was from...
I was working on the whole day, right? And now it's showing up.
I mean, it takes time.
Now it pops up. Yeah, nice.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, thank you. I was afraid not to show up without it. So, but yeah, a really nice game, and Furnace takes it, replaces Hui very well, right? Taking the win.
Yeah, good start into his first Nations Cup appearance. Great. So, next match, standard format.
Standard format, if I'm not.
And that will be Sidecrawler versus CCMS. The world champion himself.
Yes. CCMS is known to put his personal twist in whatever decks he plays. So I'm curious if he will do. I mean, on standard format as well. So I'm curious to see if he will do that as well now. I don't know. I'm expecting an Alpine deck, at least from at least one side. Judging also from the. I don't remember the exact lineups from the previous weeks, but judging from the deck list from the OCC qualifiers, which was the previous weekend, Jagro, Alpine, and Britair seem to be 3 very popular choices. And CCMS is bringing a USA deck. Let's see how that works out. It's a USA aggro deck, also very solid. Very solid choice.
And is it Alpine from Sidecrawler?
Is it?
Let's see.
Or Italian control?
Very likely it's Italian control too.
It's Alpine.
It is Alpine.
It's Alpine. Okay.
And the ATM
he
is
gets
in
the
the
ATM
house.
machine. Yes.
Let's see, I mean, it's not so powerful, but CCMS has a lot of answers too, right? I mean, he has a Chocolate Boys, he's able to remove Sudden Strike, a double Sudden Strike, right? Like he can remove any of those units, and then any other that will come after.
I'm surprised the Sidecrawler didn't deploy the 22nd Infantry instead of the Alpine unit, because he would get essentially the same result plus a draw, and it would put CCMS under some pressure too. CCMS is not going for the...
Not going for the ATM.
For the GBXP. Yeah, for the ATM. So that gives Sidecrawler the time to find his 22nd and draw by the end of the turn. He has to go face now, of course.
And he moves it to frontline. That's interesting.
He moves to the frontline because he really needs to keep it retained now to keep drawing, because he has a very low low card amount right now.
And he also wants to keep CCMS away from the front line.
That's true. And it's gonna do that, I guess, now with the through the breach.
Ooh, and what else?
But it's
Just
not.
move
I'm not sure if
20
it's
seconds.
optimal. Yeah, it's not optimal indeed.
Oh.
Well, nothing
And
else.
But yeah,
Nothing
I'm not
else.
sure I disagree, however, because it's really important to keep USA away from the front line. But he has found an envelope. We will see if it gets any real value out of it, and not just kill one unit. But it's gonna be interesting how he utilizes it.
Probably getting 2 out of it, I expect. First Marines goes to the front line next turn.
Yeah.
He can remove even without it, without the envelope, right? So
as long as CCMS doesn't find a sermon, and Sidecrawler is kind of okay, I guess. But how long will that last?
Ooh. Going for
that's
the
also interesting.
He goes for the
bounce.
bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's all about the tempo now. He wants to flood the board, uninterrupted, and then he can pull a massive We Can Do It if he wants.
Oh, that hand from Sidecrawler.
That's a good find here, but
very nice. I think he
yeah,
has to drop that LP.
Yeah, probably the guard, right? I don't know, he's gonna try to draw something more. Yeah, maybe, yeah, he's afraid that playing the guard, that this will just basically mean that it's bounced by the half track, right?
I mean, he's having the Leopold
That's
here,
true.
and so far I don't see an answer against Leopold in CCMS hand.
That's true. So he's not. I'm guessing he's not too afraid of units being spammed from CCMS side, exactly because he has Leopold.
Ooh, nice to see island hopping. I really like that card.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan, to be honest, but it's interesting to see how much value it will pull off.
And now, do you think that he expects the envelope?
I don't think so. But it's still wise always to attack first.
Oh, look, he's not
Oh,
He goes for face.
Smart. Yeah, he goes for face.
Ooh, and first Marines got buffed.
Yeah, but he didn't attack with.
He didn't have enough credits to attack more. So.
Right. Sorry. Yeah.
He didn't
sorry,
have enough credits.
I
But
wasn't paying attention.
yeah, will he survive 2 more turns? Because basically that's what. That's what's gonna happen.
If he deploys the 0-4 now and he kills something the next turn, then he will be able to get the Leopold faster. But oh, that's really rough. Never mind.
Ouch.
That's gonna hurt a lot. Oh, he doesn't go for it.
I think that he is waiting for the Leopold, right?
I think he's not falling for that envelope. Wow.
So many 2 turns in a row, wasted 3 credits each. It's quite obvious now.
Can that Leopold help for a comeback? Yeah, I mean, almost everything that's on the board right now will go into nowhere. When that Leo, but he cannot deploy it next turn, right?
I mean, he expects that. Ooh, that it's gonna be traded.
Oh, there
it goes.
Ooh, bang! 4 damage to everything, just like that. And now he puts Sidecrawler under huge pressure. Like, fine, play Leopold, but you're gonna have to waste your entire turn on this.
He's having 135.
And he has the Panzer. He has 35T for extra damage, possibly some Hellcats in the deck.
Yeah, really close, right? Really close. Yeah, like now it's even question: do you trade for this Leopold or you go face? Because the German deck obviously doesn't have any heal, right?
Yeah, but he can secure his
Also
space
just
with
bounce the
first
Leopold
Marine.
back, yeah.
That's exactly what he will do.
Yeah, he can.
Exactly what he will do. And that's game. I can't believe that there is any other answer here.
Wow. That was really well played by CCMS.
Well, if he,
A lot of players just
he
would have gone
draws
to
it
the
through the
front line
bridge,
there. But he did not. Wow.
he didn't draw it. If he had drawn it through the bridge, he would kill the 30. No, he couldn't because it only does 1 damage to the units in the front line. So never mind. Never mind. Yeah. So nothing that can be done. I mean, if I was him, I would go for the guard with maximum health as possible. But he knows that there's a half track in his hand, so nothing that can be done.
Accept that. So many ways to win.
So many ways. Just do it. Just do it.
I mean, actually, like this play with envelope again was not bad because if CCMS moved the unit to front line before attacking, that would definitely be a comeback bet. But didn't happen. So clear 2-0 for Team China.
Very impressive so far, yeah.
Very impressive.
Very well prepared decks.
Even more impressive that, yeah, indeed. Even more impressive that Russia started with Pioneer 95 in their starting hand, going first, but they couldn't get too good value out of it. Like they couldn't get a Flampanzer, they couldn't get an Eberwerfer, more of a tempo card to keep going. So CCMS had some time to. He didn't even go for it with a sudden strike. He didn't care. So he carefully planned his counterattack and he took the front line. And after that, he was just very careful, as he always is, and we know him. And he just slowly beat Sidecrawler to death.
Guys, I'm checking the chat and we are being schooled here that we mispronounce the name of the card.
Yeah, it's envelope, like develop, but envelope.
Envelope, okay.
I also had to hear that a few times by now, so now I know it's envelope, not envelope.
Apparently everyone in the chat knows that. Everyone, Dynamo, like.
I mean, they're all native English speakers, so.
I mean, like, I mean, I don't school you how to pronounce Polish cards. Respect, come on.
And everyone calls La Decima as La Decima, but nobody bats an eye. But the correct pronunciation is La Decima.
And then
so
how
who is schooling us now?
How is the pronunciation of the artillery? The Obice?
Obice, yeah.
Yeah, and people like also mispronounce it so much. Obese or Obise.
No, it should be Obice.
So actually, it's coming from Latin, I guess. Latin language. And the funny thing is in German, it's called Haubitze, which sounds a little bit similar. Like Obice, Haubitze. Yeah.
Haubitze, okay.
I like that, yeah. It's written completely different, but it sounds very familiar. Okay, but that's about the language talk. And now we see CU Collector versus Gengator, but unfortunately I cannot see CU Collector online.
Is he coming to close the game?
CU Collector's gonna play She's gonna play the Pure War round, which he hasn't played so far.
No.
It's a very special format, and it's gonna be interesting to see. Especially regarding the Pure War, I wanted to mention if it's gonna be interesting if China will bring again the same deck that they brought last time, which was so effective against Canada. But that deck relied a lot on that countermeasure in the Navy, which now everyone knows about. So it's gonna be easier to play around, to play against, and it's really interesting if they will continue with this strategy and if they're gonna be able to camouflage the countermeasures efficiently.
Yeah, I also noticed rewatching those games that there was a really powerful in this format another countermeasure, Enemy Spotted, that actually can give you a lot of draw, right? It's actually quite interesting, especially I don't know if it's a good counter against the US that wants to take the front line, and this deck is a German one. Maybe makes it a good matchup. But yeah, I also wonder, I mean, like before the CCMS was the one playing Pure War, Now we're gonna see CU Collector. It's interesting what's gonna be the choice of the deck.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see. And on Russia's side, who is playing? Do we know?
Yeah, it will be Gengator. So
Ooh.
another pressure game here for him. He needs to win now, otherwise.
Yeah. But he's no stranger to pressure now.
Yeah.
He's no stranger to winning.
He has
He's no
experience now.
stranger to pressure. He's no stranger to
Okay.
pure war format also. So
That's
we'll
true.
see. We'll see.
Come on, Gengada, you can do this.
Yeah, no pressure. Actually, I wonder, Kowalski, do you think that they're watching the stream, or is it no time usually?
When you play, you cannot watch the stream at the same time. There's no time. It's not.
Yeah, but after.
I mean, if you're asking that, I don't know.
Yeah.
After
But
you
like
play, of course, you watch the stream
you
to
check it out, right?
to check for misplays and to boast yourself or to be proud of yourself of how you won almost all of your games.
Yeah, it seems that now
So
when I'm looking at this, it seems that it's the same deck, potentially.
It seems like the same deck, exactly.
Yeah, I remember those packs. I remember packs for D6. I remember quite a lot of artillery.
Yeah, can get quite a slow start with that Alpine deck.
Already facing 2 artilleries here.
Yeah, and if he deploys a 35T, it's gonna take 1 damage from that, 2 damage now, so...
It's effectively dying, so you cannot
Wow.
really...
Nice, I like
that's
it.
powerful, yeah, that's quite powerful. Yeah, and again, this card that we don't know how to pronounce, the envelope.
Envelope, yeah.
It's gonna be potentially dead in this matchup, right? Because of all the artillery in the hand of these NCU collectors.
What a hand team and what a support line. Oh, at least he can kill one now with the naval.
Alright. He can kill one now, it's very important.
And move up.
And then he... Yeah, and then he... Hopefully he can deploy a 35T and kill the other. But CU Collector is also having his answers. He can destroy this Nebelwerfer.
Probably playing in the Navy, so is Gengator seeing it.
Yeah, he's gonna play. Yeah, what's gonna happen now? That's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just 1 credit floating, right? It's way more obvious when your opponent having 3 credits floating than just 1.
But if he attacks with the unit now, in the Navy is not gonna do anything, is it? It still dies.
If he attacks this one, yes, the PAC 36, then it still dies, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he plays perfectly around
perfect. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So we have a game.
We have a game, yes.
The question is for how long, because there's a naval werfer. Oh, he's not even going for it. Interesting. Just bounce in the
Yeah, but Gengeta is having the Jagd Bomber, which in later turn is gonna help a lot, I assume.
That's a 3L, right? Yeah. Oh, he's going for that.
Yeah, because it's quite beefy.
Yeah.
It's not easy to take it out right now, but it's gonna be bounced again.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because it's quite slow, it needs
probably autocannon
5k
first.
total to operate.
Autocannon, move, bounce.
Only is he ever reclaiming this from, I mean, getting to the back line to kill all those artilleries. It's bounce after bounce.
No, there's a lot of pressure on Gengeta's side with that autocannon.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, good bounce there.
He bounces it and deploys another Alpine unit. Yeah. But a good find also from CU Collector. He's able to kill now the Yak Bomber
Clean everything.
and move up.
That 10
he
was
wants to,
so important
yeah.
to find there.
And this is the moment to Spooz when
Yeah,
you
now
say
I can only hope for Leopold.
when you say that he's risking the stars and stripes, right?
Oh yeah.
And then you remember it's pure war.
I like Eagle Claws better.
Yeah, Eagle Claws, yes.
Where's the Eagle Claws when you need it? Not in the deck.
Not in the deck. But yesterday we were saying something about only orders.
Yeah,
Actually,
only orders. That would be interesting.
Only orders that then people would play the opposite. They would look for orders that give units, right?
Yeah.
Like
Next year we will see that format for sure.
Yeah.
Only
counters
orders.
I can't wait for that resistance only format.
Resistance only, yeah. Or heal only, like heal only.
Yeah, that is basically the both
Right,
archetypes, right? It's, yep.
Oh.
I mean, what can Gengator do here?
I was gonna say in theory he has control, but he's also quite low on cards, so. Alright, this 35T is gonna help a little bit. He can also deploy the Obits and destroy the Howitzer, the American one.
Yeah, so he can take two, right? Take two.
He can take two.
Yeah.
Great, okay. And now then all he has to do is hope that CU Collector is gonna move the artillery to the front line and hit it with an envelope.
And the Condor is
Condor and Nebelwerfer. He missed to deploy the autocannon. Missed 2 damage there.
And how do you draw as a Germany now? How do you draw?
Well, that Greyhound is gonna be destroyed, but that doesn't do much difference.
Nope. Nope. Only slow infantry. He doesn't even. Yeah, he's not almost even interested in trading.
Yeah, he's just gonna kill it with a Condor.
Yeah, okay.
And that should be game, even with the Leopold top deck.
Only Stars and Stripes happening now.
Too late.
Only
Stars and Stripes. And that's game.
Yeah, artillery is just too strong in this game format. Holy moly.
Yeah, indeed.
Also finding double puck in the starting hand, so no 35T.
Yeah, it was very important.
They're very important for CU Collector and Team Shiner with an easy 3-0 here. Wow.
What a dominance.
Very impressive. That's the first 3-0 we see.
The first 3-0 we see, indeed. And it's interesting now that if USA wins tomorrow, or if they win 3-1, I'm not sure. I think that China takes the first place.
Yeah.
So
give me 5 minutes. I will update the rankings, and then we will see it.
Sure. We can go over. But I just want to say that your original question on if, as Team Greece, if we prefer Russia or China, it might not even stand at all. Then we might end up playing Canada.
So, yeah, I mean, it's actually interesting because like after or like last week, there were so many games that were so close. Here, there was basically pure dominance, and maybe prior to the tournament, we would expect to see this kind of games, results, and performances. But then last week's proved that wrong, and then here finally we see. And I think also there was before a little bit of doubt about the Chinese performance, that they were not maybe being able to show their full potential. But with this game, they kind of bringing back and saying like, okay, even without Hui, we're able to win and convince everyone.
Yeah, very impressive.
I think they really stepped up their game, and it was obvious from the first game, from the Popper round, how they constructed that Betty aggro deck, which was a good counter to tokens. And it was also a very good psychological boost, like winning so dominantly in the first round. And after that, it was way easier. So really good performance, their best performance so far from Team China.
Yeah, definitely. And then like it also puts Canada in a difficult situation. I didn't expect, or the opposite. Everyone was expecting that they already kind of secured the spot #1, but it doesn't have to be the case, right? So they also have to perform tomorrow with their neighbors from the south. That will going to be also interesting and deciding game, right? So I hope that the Team US will also try to step up the game and improve. Maybe even, who knows, maybe they can win with Canada. That would be quite interesting to see, right?
It will be, of course, it will be better. I'm sure they will go for it. They will do their best. I'm talking about Team USA, and even if they didn't make it to the second round, which was quite disappointing for them, but if they at least pull a victory over Canada, this is a nice prestigious win to take it out of the Nations Cup.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, I don't know if they have a chance to. We'll see the table in a second or in 5 minutes when the Spooz is done.
Wait, I did it in hyperspeed, so look at this. It's already done.
So wow. Look at the table. Okay, great. Because I wanted to say that also US has something to play, right? They can potentially, if they win with Canada, they can potentially still secure position #3, right? So it's not only a meme dex day, but there is something else.
But as we see,
so
Canada has to win tomorrow to be
3-0,
first, right?
Yes, but also if Canada loses 2-3, I think they're also first place because they are tied in everything with China and they have won their in-between game. I mean, if they lose 2-3, they go to 8 wins and no, it's gonna be 8-6. So yeah, Canada has to win tomorrow.
Yeah, doesn't matter how much.
Canada has to win tomorrow too.
They can win however they want, but they have to. Otherwise, even if they lose 2-3, it's 8-6. Then China's having less losses.
It's 8-6.
I mean, they are quite comfortable. They are in the semi-finals. I mean, sure. I think they want to dodge Greece.
I don't think.
With the insane Kowalski.
Maybe that's very flattering for you.
Or maybe like it's an inception here, right? Like the Kowalski talking what they should do, so they listen, so they actually do what Kowalski wants to do. But of course,
I'm trying to throw the smoke again, but I think both teams tomorrow will pull off their best game, and it's going to be a very interesting round.
Yeah, no calculations. You just perform as good as you can. And
I think also US. What about the US? What win is giving them the third place?
They would have to win 3-0, right? 3-1 maybe?
I mean, every win can help them. Every win is giving them the third place.
Yeah, because they're going to have...
less lost rounds.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
They're going to have less lost rounds, so any win works for them. So both teams have an incentive to win tomorrow.
Absolutely. So really looking forward to that too. But that was a fast one today. It was the fastest match, 3-0. Very impressive.
Really fast.
Congrats to China.
No technical
less than an hour.
Like that.
Definitely one of the favorites after today's match. And
that's true.
We will know more about who will be in the semifinals and at what pairings tomorrow. Thanks for being here, guys. Any last words?
I can only say maybe
thank you for having us.
Before we go, Spooz, maybe you can also update everyone what's going to be the schedule for the final round?
We will
Because there
know.
was some discussion about it.
Oh yeah, I think we already know by now, since there is Canada and China. So I still have to get in touch with all the teams that are in the semifinals now. If it's fine for them if we play on Friday and Saturday, because on Sunday there will be the OCC. Hopefully it's working for everyone. If not, yeah, we might have a problem. I think we have to do it at the same time at like the OCC than the finals, and see how this works out. Maybe we have a little bit delay then when some of the players that are playing Nations Cup are also playing their OCC match. I don't know, and we have to see.
Okay, so maybe there's going to be some more clarity tomorrow.
Hopefully it will.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, a super great dominance of Team China today. Thank you very much for having us. Thank you, both teams, for the performance on the group level. Congrats to China for the qualifications, and looking forward to seeing the semifinals in the game tomorrow. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those are my thoughts about this.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Spooz, for having us. It was a great day. I'm really looking forward to the semifinals as well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, thanks again, guys, for being here. Really, really highly appreciate. Yeah, I just want to give for everyone in the chat who wants to give these guys some feedback. Just press the link there in the chat, and maybe you have some dollars to spend, and I'm just putting them over the casters. I just split it to them. So I think you guys did some awesome work into this Nations Cup too, and made this the whole experience way more natural and living, and that's why I want to also give you something back. But maybe the community also wants to help with this.
That's very kind of you.
Really nice. Cool,
that's very kind of you.
Cool.
So yeah, but that's
it.
That's it for today. Hopefully we see each other tomorrow, guys, when we want to see this is a match that could have also been a final. Canada versus USA. Unfortunately, USA is already out of the tournament, but they want to fight for their honor and secure their third spot in Group B tomorrow, I think. So that's why I'm really looking forward to that. And nothing more to say than wish you good luck on the battlefield, stay healthy, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.